Hey guys, what's up? It's Nav here. It's been a while since I did a video. I want to do a little deck profile on the Reboot hit. It's a leader I've been really wanting to play for a while. It's really great. I've seen a lot of players and pretty cool deck profiles of hit, and I wanted to give it a chance and have some fun with it. Just to let you guys know, basically what it does, whenever he attacks a leader card, you draw a card and he gains 5k. So he's technically a 15k. And then to awaken, if your life is at 4 or less, you just untap an energy and draw one card. And here's where he's really cool. So on his flip side, when he awakens, when he attacks, you draw a card. Then you choose, then he gains 5k. So now he's basically a 20k all the time on your turn. And then you're able to play a skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less in your drop area and play it. And then he has an active main or battle that once per turn you can discard a card from your hand, and you're just going to KO one of your opponent's battle cards that has double strike, crit, or blocker. This is really good with the current meta. This allows you to get rid of anything, against Broly, slow down the chain, kill the boss, the blockers. Same thing with the Jax. You can get rid of Trunks that has the Xeno Trunks that has blocker. You can hit it against a lot of other decks like Shenron with their blockers. So your hit is able to just pop off and do a lot of damage. And this is a very aggressive deck that you will immensely draw a lot. So let me get into the deck and show you guys what I play. So here we got 4 of the Piccolo Jr. Eradicator of Peace. This card is amazing. This is kind of like your main boss in this deck. And to me, technically, he's a triple striker. So he's a double striker, but here's where I say that he's a triple striker. So he has Alliance that's red-green. Alliance is basically that when he attacks, he's able to rest cards that are red or green in your battle area, and when you rest them, he gains their attack power, so it increases onto him. And he has an alliance of red-green that if your leader's red, this card gains power equal to the power level of cards switched to rest mode by this skill. Then you get to draw 2 cards, and if your opponent has 3 or more life, you deal 1 damage to them. So as I said, it's technically kind of like a triple striker, and you're always going to get guaranteed damage as long as they're at 3 or more life. And when they're at 3 life, you push for game with this bad boy, because you're going to burn them. They go down to 2, rest everything, combo off in your hand, and it's a lot of damage. And you get to draw 2. So technically, if the opponent wants to try to stop this attack, they're going to have to waste a lot of resources in their hand, and you plus 2 out of it. And for the skillless battle cards we play, I play 4 Gohans, just the skillless one, and 3 Frieza. Honestly, I'm probably going to take out the Frieza and put in the Gohans, and I'll show you why a little bit later. But these are just really good pressure for 20k skillless battle cards, and we have a lot of cards in this deck that actually bring these guys out on top of the leader. And first, we can start off with Great Sandman 2, Budding Hero. She has an auto that when his card is played from your hand, you play up the 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or your drop area. Then you shuffle your deck if you look through it. And then for a green energy, that's an active main, you get to choose up to 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less and return it back to your hand, and you play her. So it kind of loops it. So, you bring one of these guys out, you attack with it, pay a green energy, bounce it back, bring out the Budding Hero. Then she brings out one of these guys from the drop area or from the deck. Most times you're gonna get the one in your drop area because there's gonna be cards that you're gonna trigger in this deck that really, really works out. So it just brings a lot of pressure. We play 3 Son Goku Nimbus Master. This card is super expensive right now. I don't have a 4th one. If I did, I would be playing 4, but he has Unique, which is really doesn't matter because you're never really going to play him. You're just going to do his combo ability. So he has an auto that if it's your opponent's turn, at the end of the battle, when you combo with him, you get to play one skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your deck or drop area. Then you shuffle your deck if you look through it, and you can't activate auto skills of this card for the rest of the turn. This allows you to play your skillless guys from the drop area or from the deck, and you're just going to start swarming the board, and it's going to allow to bring a lot of pressure in. He has an active main for 1 energy that I never really do, but you just send 1 skillless battle card from your drop area to your warp, and then you play them from your hand. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but you're really going to do the comboing effect. And then we play 2 Zarbon, Cosmic Elite. He's just a blocker, green active main. You choose 1 green card in your hand, discard it. You play this card from your drop area. And then if you're trying to get this glare out the way, but if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, when you combo with this card, you just, not combo, but when this card's removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and discards it. So it's pretty cool. You know, you got a little defense over here. This is also another card that I use for the Piccolo Jr. Just more little combo power. And this allows you to pitch, you know, your green skillless cards, and then you attack with hit. You draw a card, you play 1. So it's like as if this is for free, coming out for free. There's no cost being done. For some Self-Awakeners, I play 2 Newfound Power Sun Gohan and 2 Dodoria, the Cold-Blooded. You know, if you want to go for the double strike, if you want to go for the crit, it's all player preference. It's really not hard to wake up with this deck. With the way that this meta is, we're pretty aggro. Your opponent's just going to constantly hit your leader, trying to take your leader down. So I only play 4. I don't play like 4 Gohans and 4 Dodorias. It's not really necessary. For your super combos, you're going to play 4 Nappa Demolition Men. So this guy is a super combo if your leader is red or green. At the end of the battle, when you combo with him, you play this card from your hand. So this is really good with, actually, I'll just show it right now. This is really good when you do Frieza's Army Healing Pod. So this is a field card that for 1 energy, when a green battle card from your drop area, when you play a green battle card from your drop area, you get to draw a card. So you get massive draw power with this leader. So the leader attack when he draws, and he breaks a skill list. If you have this card out on the board, you draw again. On your opponent's turn, when they attack you and you combo a Nappa, the Nappa goes to the drop area, his auto triggers, and then you play him from the drop area, you draw a card. So it's a super combo that lets you draw a card. Same thing with the Goku. You combo, you can play skillless from the drop area on your opponent's turn. Frieza Army Healing Pod triggers. The Zarbon is going to trigger because it plays from the drop area. So you have a lot of ways to just utilize the Frieza Army Healing Pod. And the Nappa's really amazing too. So you combo with that, bring them out. With the Piccolo Jr., you'll put them in rest mode. Now you have constant combo and constant like super combos in this deck. For the red, what I do is I play the Topo Righteous Aid. Choose up to, he's just a really powerful card that just stops your opponent's turn if they can't counter this card. Counter attack, you just discard it, you know, choose 1 card from your hand, discard it in your drop area, negate the attack, and then he has an auto that, you know, if it's your opponent's turn, when you play him, they have to pitch 2 cards from their hands if they want to attack. And if not, they usually just really pass the turn. And for the more red cards, I play 2 Videl, Gohan's partner. So she's a free blocker. Basically, if you have a Sun Gohan in your battle area or leader area, you just play this card without paying the cost. I know there's people that's playing the Trunks. I actually have the Trunks. The only reason why I'm actually choosing the Videl over the Trunks is because bringing out the skillless Gohans are really easy, much more easy. They either cost 1 to no energy to bring out. With the Piccolo, you know, you have to pay 2 energy, and then I think the Trunks can come out if you have like a red-green multicolor card on board, but it's so much faster if you just do it with the Gohan, you know, because this can come out on turn 2. This has come out really early, and it's really good defense as well. But most of the times you're going to use it for the Piccolo Jr., so you add some, you know, you get the draw 2 and give it 5k. So, but if I have to find more of her, I would put more of her in the deck. And then more red cards. You're going to play Hidden Power Supreme Kai Time, just the double strike. It's kind of self-explanatory. I know there's a lot of double strikers in this deck. As you can see, there's the Dodoria, there's the Piccolo Juniors. I also play this guy too. So that's your double striker, but you could just never be sure. If you're trying to attack with a leader and you're trying to go for game, you just drop this bad boy on them and just go in. And I do play 2 Bardock the Resolute. It's really easy to bring out, has unique double strike. Your leader card's red. Basically, let me see this, man. This light is killing me. See if I do it like that. Man, it doesn't even matter, whatever. But basically, if your leader card is red and your opponent life is added to their hand or placed in their drop area by a skill, even including their own skills, you can play this card from your hand. And then when your opponent activates a counter skill, you switch this card to active mode. So like if you go up against Red Broly and they like, burn with the Broly swap, you get to play this guy out. If they activate their leader effect, they take a life, you get to bring this guy out. If, you play against Vegeks and they bring out the Trunks takes a card, wants to take a card from life, you bring this guy. So it is really, really, really easy to bring out this Bardock, the Resolute. So a lot more pressure. For my Unisons, I just played a Demigra Unison of Sorcery. He has a really cool permanent that if this card would lose a marker from the opponent's attack, you just choose a card from your life and add it to your hand instead. So he helps you self-awaken as well, and it's really difficult to get rid of this card once he starts revving up. He has a +1 where he gains 10k power for the turn, so he's a 15k 1-drop. And he has a -3 that you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. You KO that card, so there's no restriction of what kind of battle card you're KOing. Then you choose up to one of your opponent's battle card with an energy cost of 3 or less, ignore and bury it, and KO it. So it's really good board removal. You're able to get rid of 2 battle cards, and without paying any energy cost or anything. And then you play for the Frieza Charismatic Villain. Basically, this is your turn one. One of your other turn 1 plays. If you don't have the Frieza Healing Pod, you definitely want to do this to put your cards in active. To have your counters, your free counter play, just ready to go. I don't play any red Unisons in this deck. I really just feel like the Demigra Unison just does a lot. It's so free. It's so good. And I recommend all players who are playing the Reboot hit, if you're playing like a green version or a red-green version, this is the Unison that you currently want to play. I don't think you want to play any other kind of Unison. And the Frieza, self-explanatory. He's free as long as you have 2 or more markers. And when Frieza gets played, you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and then you cost 7 or less and KO. So get rid of any nuisance early in the game. Like I said, if you're going up against Red Broly and they're trying to chain up or they get ready, and you're the one who went first, you have Demigra on board, you can instantly just slow down the chain right there. You can slow down decks that are very aggressive. You can slow down decks that are very aggro, or even against the new Janemba cards that are coming out soon. They go off like on turn 2, turn 3. You're just able to just pop off with this and just stop their chain. So this card is really amazing. You just got to know when to play the counter Frieza. And then the only extra cards I play, as I showed you, is the Frieza Healing Pod, which is really good. You guys know what it does. I already told you guys to draw a card. If a green battle card gets into play, which your whole deck is technically green anyways. The only red cards you play are really defensive. So it's all good. And for max power Kamehameha, I didn't play the after image technique. I'm not really worried about any sparking abilities. I'm not trying to minus things like that. Max power Kamehameha is just good on defense all the time. On your opponent's turn, you're going to negate attack. Then you can warp 4 cards from your drop area, return them back. Or he has this active main that you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their current energy and send it to the owner's warp. So against these decks that really just start rushing out, bringing out these big cards, you're just able to warp them just for 1 energy. And as you notice with this deck, you're usually only going to use 1 to 2 energy every turn. Honestly, you really are. So you're always going to have open energy. When I notice that when I play turn 1, I either play my Demigra Unison or the Frieza Army Unison. Frieza Army field card. And then turn 2, I just spend another energy, just to play something, or, save it for the Goku Nimbus, or you want to play, something like this. It's really, really, really good. This deck really, most of the times you're only spending 2 energy, 1 to 2 energy per turn. You really are, and you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Your negate is really good because your negate comes back to your hand, and then next turn you warp something that's a problem that's greater than their energy. So I think it's really it's more offensive. It's really aggro. It's really good. But you know, if you want to go into the defensive game, you do the Fidels, you do the Zarbons, you do a lot of things, man. This deck is really amazing. I hope you guys check this out. Try it out. I'm going to be recording videos soon of gameplay of this deck. And I just hope that you guys do enjoy it. And I'll probably, you know, maybe give a little update on the deck later on. My apologies that I haven't recorded videos in a while. I've just been very busy, COVID, work, and all that stuff. But I promise I'll get back to some things. And I'm working some things behind the scene. So I hope you guys have a nice week and have a lovely Sunday. And enjoy your day. Goodbye.